Welcome back to the Hide. We are back out in the gun room again today, and we have got another black rifle out on the bench for review. So huge shout out to our friends at Delta Team Tactical for sending this out for us to take a look at. But this is one of the new Davidson Defense Cutlass AR-15. So I would consider this to be somewhat of like an enhanced entry-level carbine. And what I mean by that is it's kind of like a step up from an entry-level carbine in that you do get some added features that you typically would not see with just your standard bare bones AR-15 16-inch gun. And just to kind of go over some of that, we're going to go over the specs of the rifle itself. Of course, we're going to get some shooting footage back there at the range. Obviously, it's a hide video, so of course we're going to put it on paper at 110 and see what kind of performance we get out of that barrel. But kind of go over the basic specs. It is a mid-length 16-inch carbine. It has a 15-inch M-LOK handguard. Handguard's okay. I don't mind it. It feels good in the hand. Standard A2 birdcage. This does have a 1 in 8 twist, so I do like the twist rate. Now, I could not find much information on the receiver set, so they are calling this the Cutlass upper receiver. To me, I'm pretty sure this is probably billet. I think the lower is forged. It looks forged. But overall, the fit and finish is very, very nice. Now, they do include one of these Acu wedges with it. I don't really care for those things. They make it a pain in the butt to take your rifle down, but some guys like them. You can take it out or leave it in, whatever your heart's desire there. But lower receiver, mil-spec fire control group. It does include a Magpul K2 grip. I definitely like that. I love the feel of those grips. Just your standard trigger guard. I wish they would have it wouldn't have cost that much money more just to throw an extended trigger guard in this. Even a Magpul one wouldn't have, it would just fit the kind of the theme of the rifle a little bit better, in my opinion. Now, the upper receiver is very nice. It is slick-sided. There's no forward assist or anything like that, which personally I don't mind. I never use them. They're there, I guess, if you need it, but overall, it's just added machining and added parts that you don't have to pay for in this iteration. Now, the one thing that I did kind of want to point out, you do get a really nice Magpul stock. This is the RL version, but one kind of nitpickety thing that I always like to point out is you don't have sling provisions. I wish it had QD cups molded into the handguard and something on the stock. It's not a deal breaker. You can absolutely mount a stock to this, or a sling to this, no problem at all. But just kind of throwing that out there in case you were looking into these, you might need a few extra items to get yourself slinged up. Now, let's get into the business end of the upper receiver. So they are including a Mod 2 Warhammer charging handle from Breek Arms. I actually like the feel of this thing. It feels really, really good. So good on them for adding, you know, kind of an upgraded charging handle. And the bolt carrier group, I really, really am impressed with how well they've done this bolt carrier group. Staking, I would say, is very well done, very adequate. On your bolt, 9310 bolt, and it is MPI tested. Fit and finish of the BCG is very well done. It presents itself very nice. Overall, I think the rifle has a lot going for it for the price point. Check out our campsite page for all of those details. But let's get a scope put on this. I'm going to get the camera mounted. Let's go get some rounds to this thing and kind of see how it performs on the rifle range, and then we'll put it on paper. All right, so we got done with our run and gun shooting. You guys just watched some of that video. I won't subject you to all of it. But we've got a little over 250 rounds through the rifle now, and it has not missed a beat. So now we're going to put some rounds on paper. So we're at 110 yards. I got 5 rounds of Federal Gold Medal Match 69 grain loaded up. You guys can follow along on the shot cam. Let's see how it does. So I'm on 10 power. Can't really see them too well, but it doesn't look too terrible from this distance. But I'm going to let the barrel cool for a few minutes, and then we're going to try our next rounds. All right, next 5 up, we got some 77 grain Sierra Match King hand loads. These are over about 24 grains of Varget. So let's see what these do at 110. Little bit of lateral stringing. That definitely could be me, but overall not too terrible. So we'll let the barrel cool for a couple more minutes, and then we'll try our last group. Okay, last rounds, our old standby, our 55 grain poly tip from Fiocchi. Let's see what these do at 110. Oh. Curse the bench. So it looks like we had a misfeed there, so we are not going to send that one through, but we've got one more, so we've definitely got to finish out the group. So let's go ahead, put this mag in, and we'll finish our last shot here. So, locked it back on that one. Let me go reposition the camera. I'm going to go grab our target. We'll get some final thoughts on the Davidson Defense Cutlass. All right, so here is our target. So our first group was Federal Gold Medal Match 69 grain. Had a lot of stringing with this. Now this could definitely be me just getting acquainted with that mil-spec trigger. I'm not going to lie, it's a typical mil-spec trigger. Although it is fairly smooth, it is pretty darn heavy, so I could equate and give myself a little bit of a mulligan for that. Not going to totally blame the rifle, but moving on, we've got the 77 grain hand load. It shot that pretty well. Got 3 rounds right here, a couple over there, so about 1.5 inches or so in diameter there. And then our last one, our Fiocchi, definitely some vertical stringing there. That definitely could have been me. Did have that one failure to feed, that last round. Now, it didn't act up at all over on the carbine range. Run and gunning the first few hundred rounds, it didn't do nothing. I mean, it ate everything that I threw at it. And I shot, it was just Federal 55 grain FMJ. So, with that being said, we've got, now with these rounds here, it's a little less than 300 total. But we're going to keep this around. So we're going to keep this as a long-term project and just kind of see how it does basically for the rest of the year. So if you're interested in one of these and still kind of on the fence, maybe stick around. and possibly we could answer a few more questions for you on it. However, initially, I think it's done well. I mean, I've had other brand name rifles out of the box have a kind of a bobble, get a few 200, 300, 400 rounds through them. They're perfect. They're good to go. So this one is probably no exception. I do think a little bit nicer trigger would probably help the overall package. But again, for the price point, I think they've done really well with the rifle as it sets. But check out our campsite page if you're interested in one of these. And got all kinds of deals over there. Let me know what you think down in the comments about our Cutlass. And as always, guys, shoot straight. Later.